This is the Smart Beach Investor Podcast, where we explore how investors leverage real estate at the beach to live big lives and build their personal wealth. If you are an investor at the beach or you want to be, you found the right place. Enjoy today's show and be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode of the Smart Beach Investor.
Hey, we got an unbelievable guest today. He's going to give us a ton of information about home building. We've got Andrew McLendon with McLendon Builders.
Awesome.
Yes.
I got some questions for him.
You on here, Andrew?
Yes, sir.
Hey, bud. How you doing?
Welcome.
Good. How are y'all doing today?
Awesome. I understand you're at your kids' field day at the school, and you're taking a break for a minute to talk to us. Is that true?
Yes, sir. I'm back and forth out there for a little bit, and working and all the above.
What does that look like? Are you like playing kickball on those guys and just punting that thing over their heads? Or what is field day anyway? I don't even know.
Field day is a grade school where they, at the end of the year, all the teams, and they go out there and they see who can throw the football the longest. You've heard of tug of war.
Yeah.
They all get on the rope, and like it's done in classes. So
okay.
they just kind of compete. It's like maybe a little local Olympics kind
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fun.
But you're not out there lighting up these little guys, are you?
No.
You got to let the kids win.
I can see you out there.
Yeah,
Come on, tug of war. We're in it to win it. Like in family
in
or
elementary
wedding
school,
crashes.
everybody wins, Everybody wins.
Everyone gets a medal.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody gets
That's
a
right.
trophy. All right. Anyway, let's talk about winning in the world of building and home building here on the Emerald Coast. What is the state of play right now, Andrew, as far as you can see with building homes right now? What's going on in the market?
It's tough. It's tough to call right now because most us builders take 5-6 months on a house, so we're constantly busy, and it's hard to watch what's going on or what's slowed down. But with the interest rates kind of changing a little bit, it seems like this past month it might have slowed down a little bit. But the biggest challenge is the cost. I mean, it's just the cost.
Yeah. So how do you deal with that, right? How do you deal with that? Because you got to bid. And then what? If it changes as quickly as it has, that's got to be hard. You just build in.
Well, we all got stuck, after COVID. We all kind of got stuck with not putting some provisions in there. And I've talked to 2 or 3 other builders, and we all kind of had that one job that, plywood was $28 a sheet. And by the time we needed it, it was $50. So, I mean, that's a huge, I can tell you a year ago I had started a job, and luckily it was a cost plus job, but typical lumber package for this job would have been about $30,000. And by the time we ordered it, it had gone up to $72,000.
Doubled.
Wow.
So you doubled. So what happened is, I believe this is what happened, is the lumber started it. Well, then all these other companies start trickling down, and they're like, well, if they're going to pay more for lumber, we're going to pay more for pipe. So now a breaker for your home is $20 where it used to be $5. It's all the way across the board. That being said, where we live, it doesn't even affect people.
No, they don't care. Whatever. Just tell me. I'll buy it, right? I'll pay it. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they got to be smart. And matter of fact, I was the other day, I was talking to a client, and they wanted to build a guest house right there in Regatta Bay, and it's $350 a foot. It's kind of what I threw out there, and which is kind of about accurate, $350, and said nope, not going to do it. So there's one. It was like right now, that didn't want to do it, but a lot of people they're still rocking and rolling and building and.
Yeah, we're seeing that on the sales side too, Andrew, in that, but the affordability is getting such that it's going to get some pushback at some point. And I think we're in that position right now, maybe in the next 2 or 3, 4 months, where sellers and maybe people that want to build homes, they don't know that the market's going to soften or how much. And so they're like, whatever, let's go ahead and build it. I can afford it and whatever still. But then you start to see these other folks that are starting to pull back a little bit and saying, well, wait a minute, I'm going to wait and see what's going on because I think pricing can come down. And I can't afford it. Interest rates are killing me here. And the lending's getting tighter. Everything's getting a little bit tighter. So we're starting to see more and more people pulling back. And are you seeing that, or is it still, hey, whatever it cost, I'm going?
Well, kind of, sort of. I don't think we're quite there yet, because let me tell you, and what I have seen in this industry in the last since COVID, is we live in a place that people want to live, but they never could live here. So when COVID hit, you have all these people in all these states making really, really good money, and they go into an office and they do all that. Well, COVID hits and everybody goes and works from home. Mm-hmm. Well, now all these people have noticed that they can work from home. Why am I living in the city of New York when I can work at home? So I have probably 50% of my clients are move-ins that basically make 4 times the amount of money as anybody here in town. So spending the money, $300 a foot to build a house, that's no big deal. So until those people, because they're from New York, or California, where it's so expensive. And I had a lady buy a house in Kelly Plantation. It was 2 years old. It was $2.1 million. She bought it. She lived in California. She bought this house, never even seen it. Calls me up. Andrew, is it a nice house? Like, I've only seen it from a drone. So it's like, that's what I'm like, until those people, until everybody stops coming in to the Emerald Coast and buying, or Florida for that matter. Yeah. When they stop, I think it's going to get back to, okay, it's all locals, the prices are high, and it's going to slow down. It's got to.
Yeah. So you think
that makes sense?
Yeah, it totally does. Totally does. Are they living in the house, you think, Andrew, or is it just a second home, third home?
No, they're living. They're moving. I've had 2 clients. I actually had one from California, and I had one from New York. They are buying here, spending whatever to build or buy a house, and they're working from here now. So now their kids are in a good school system, and Destin Elementary is fixing to put on a huge addition. Like it's Florida Septic and Sewers is putting on an addition, so it is definitely growing.
So but how about this, Andrew? I believe, where are they going? Are we running out of land though?
Well, I had to push down. I pushed down the house and built one. So
they're doing that all over Scenic. They're knocking down the older homes and just building something brand new. They're not even remodeling.
And that's what it's
interesting.
Fort Walton started that a long time ago, and you got this big pretty house and not such a good area, but then 5 years down the road, there's 10 more houses going up. So that's constantly what's going to happen. But a lot of people going east and north a little bit, but a lot buy a house and completely gut it and remodel. The remodeling business has always been there, and I think it will always be here, because you're right. You're out of land. You can't build new anywhere. So let's keep what we have and remodel it.
Yeah, totally. That's what I did with my personal home. We remodeled the whole thing. So other people are still doing that in our area as well, it sounds like.
Yes, ma'am. I have more remodels than new builds. I mean, people are, because when the rates go up, John, when y'all sell stuff that's, every month is going up and up, their home value goes up, so they don't feel as guilty, or they don't feel as bad to drop $50,000 or $100,000 into their house. But then again, at some point, it will level off and come back down. I think we're seeing a slowdown right now, but I don't think we're seeing any kind of stop.
Are you having any issues of getting the supplies, like supply chain? Are you having issues?
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother subject, and we could probably talk a whole nother podcast on that. But the subcontractors have doubled in price, because we go and build a house, and it's like, hey, I'm ready for the electrical, and I'm 2 months out. Well, they've been waiting on the panel. They've been waiting on this. Windows in construction, Windows is the number one problem. Windows, matter of fact, I got an email the other day. They're 185 days out.
Okay, funny, because with my remodel, we've been on this list apparently for 6 months waiting to get a slider. And I'm like, did they forget about us? Like, I keep calling. They're like, nope, you're on the list. And I'm like, this is literally going on 6 months.
Yeah, that's what it's going at. And when it's the glass companies, it's the impact glass because of where we live. But 128 days. We typically build a house in 128 days. It's the where we live. We have to have impact glass or impact windows, and it's the glass companies. The film comes from overseas, and they're having problems getting that, and then they got behind. So, but when you build a house, I mean, what we're having to do is just board up the windows. We board up the windows and kind of waterproof them the best we can, and we just carry on and
work with what you got.
Now the windows are the last thing to go in.
We were installing cabinets and just got windows, so kind of tells you.
Interesting. Okay, how about supply with regard to labor, Andrew? Are you running into that? Is anybody working or not working? We hear so much about that too.
Yeah, the labor's an issue. I mean, I think any one of us go out to eat, we can see there's definitely a labor issue. So that funnels all the way down to us even worse, because nobody really wants to get out in the field and build or remodel homes, when there's so many other jobs out there. But yes, the labor is definitely an issue, and I don't really know until people don't understand until that's fixed, nothing's really going to get done.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to work through it. That's what you do, right?
Well, we're just working through it. I think the people that do want to work are just working longer shifts, and I've kind of had this saying for some time now. It's America is getting to pay more, get less. I mean, you're just going to have to adapt to that.
It seems like it doesn't across everything.
And I think that some of these companies that really exceed or really, really grow in their employees and keeping their employees and keeping people happy, I think those businesses are really going to grow in the next 10 years because, me and you are going to get tired of crappy service, and there's going to be the one company that really exceeds. I mean, it's like Chick-fil-A, they know how to treat their employees, so they keep them. I kind of try to do the same thing with my guys. I've had to start helping them with fuel a little bit more because fuel's gone up. I mean, fuel is killing us.
Yeah.
It's a huge impact. It goes all the way around the board.
Yeah.
So,
it reminds me of a thing I heard the other day where this guy was saying, imagine if you lost all your customers or all your clients except for one, and you had to take care of that one in such a way that they would go tell all their friends and whoever the great service they got working with Andrew or John or whomever. You need to be that way with everybody all the time.
Absolutely.
And
that's right.
If you I think you're onto it, Andrew. If you are, sky's the limit of where you could do, kind of like what
People
Chick-fil-A
see
is.
that. Yeah.
And I believe that I think we've all become, I think we're all radars, and we see these companies that don't really give a darn or don't really excel to make you happy or create a service. So, I think we realize that, and then we're going to want to go, like, if we know somewhere's not good, we're going to bypass that place, because that's just a human nature. And I try to do that, with myself. If I go meet a client and they have 3 other contractors, I try to really work with them and give them my opinions and all this. And, they're like, oh, you're so much better because the last contractor, he told me what he was going to do and wanted a deposit. And I'm like, well, I mean, that just doesn't work that way. But so, you're right. As long as you, I think, try to excel in the service or your job or any career that you're in, I think you'll do well, especially
good times coming for sure.
Out.
So, Andrew, let me ask you this then. What advice would you put out there for folks that are thinking about building or remodeling? Is there a timing thing involved? Is there a pricing thing? Or what advice would you throw at somebody thinking about that right now?
Well, of course, I'm going to say, let's, go ahead and do it. Call me. but I don't know. That's a hard question because, a year ago, I would have said, hey, you need to get this done. We need to get this ordered. Prices are going up, but it feel like that we've kind of climbed the top, and I feel like we're just sitting at the top right now.
Okay.
So the advice I could give is you either want it and you have time to do it right now, but if you're going to wait on it to be cheaper, or if you're going to wait on it to come down, it's going to be a while.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is there a seasonality to it at all?
Sir?
Is there a seasonality at all? I know we're coming into the summer. Is that a good time, bad time? Off season, better, worse?
Us be it builders or remodelers, I mean, we always like to do stuff in the fall.
Okay.
So the fall is always a good time, but we try to do summer jobs in local residents and local homes and local neighborhoods. We try to do that in the summer because of the tourists and a lot of vacation homes are taken all summer. So then the winter becomes a lot of second home work. So, but no, as far as a timing, a season, I've got a client right now. We're going to redo their kitchen because they're going out of town for the summer. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they don't want to be here. So it's all kind of personal preference as far as timing. But as far as us as builders, we're, you know, we've always been busy and going to stay busy. So, you know, it's really, people ask me that, when's a better time to do it? And it's like, well, there really is none. We kind of stay busy all the time.
Love it.
Do it now.
Hey, full disclosure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, do it.
In full disclosure, Andrew, you've done a lot of work for us, and you've always been super great. And so I just want to make sure anybody listening, or this isn't just a plug, but I like to talk to people who I know are good and can get things done. And I really appreciate you coming on here. Hey, Andrew, how can somebody get a hold of you? What are you taking new clients?
Because I'm not a reoccurring service, I'm always taking new clients, and I try to tell them, you know, hey, if, you know, depending on how big it is, but we just got a condo at Sides Marino, and, you know, he signed the contract 2 weeks ago, and we're going to start tomorrow. Nice. So it's, you know, I try to be upfront with people, and I did. I told them it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks, but and I appreciate you having me on, John. I really do. And I'm not, you know, we're not perfect, and nobody's a perfect contractor, but we do try to provide the best we can, and we get busy, and things are out of our control, but it's just like anything, just like a relationship. It's just communication.
For sure. And
as long as you communicate with your clients, then I really feel that, you know, it's okay if it takes an extra week or an extra month, as long as you communicate. I mean, that's kind of everyday life.
Yeah.
Great.
So we try to do that the best we can. But yeah, if anybody would, you know, ever want to get in touch with me, it's just call or text me at 850-685-0050. Or I have an email at McLendon Builders @cox.net, and I'll be more than happy to look at anything that, you know, anybody out there that might have.
Love it.
And I appreciate you having me on, John.
Absolutely. We'll do it again. All right, bud. I got other questions about it, different things like zoning and code and getting things through on that regard.
We'll have to have Andrew back.
We'll do that in the future. All right,
yeah,
bud?
well, now it's not a problem because everything's taking so long when you order it.
Yeah,
you
go ahead for that.
You know, the county, you're kind of waiting on them sometimes, when you're waiting on everything else now. So it's not nobody's complaining at the county anymore. But that, yes, sir, that's a whole nother process.
Perfect. All right, well, go out there and kick. You know what? Infield.
Yes, sir. I'm fixing to go watch some tug of war.
There you go.
Thanks, right, Andrew.
We'll see you.
Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Have a good day.
All right.
You too.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
So Andrew built my garage.
Okay.
In his crew. And they did our whole remodel on our house.
Oh, the kitchen and everything?
The whole house.
Oh, okay.
The whole house.
Beautiful.
Can't remember. And many jobs that we've farmed out for other folks.
The garage was only 3 years ago.
No, longer now, but still.
Oh, okay. Well, I was here for it. I kind of remember.
Yeah, and he's building houses all over the place. He does a good job. And it's interesting to me what he said, that people are coming here from other parts of the country and staying and building because the cost.
Yeah.
You know, you come from California, you can sell your birdhouse for $3 million.
Yeah.
So they're selling over there, coming over here and building up and working remote, apparently.
Yeah. And if you want it, people are going to pay for it, right? I really want this garage. I really want this remodel. They will find a way.
Apparently they do.
Yep.
Cool. That was good.
Loved it.
There you go.
I love little Andrew.